Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our monthly meeting of Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G. The date is Thursday, December 11th, 2025, and the time is 6:30 p.m. We do have a quorum of commissioners, and so I would like to officially call this meeting to order. Secretary Shea, could you please take the roll call? While Secretary Shea is unmuting, I'll go ahead and start. Actually,
Oh,
Secretary,
sorry. I can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm having some connectivity issues over here.
you're good.
Okay, great. And for folks that are listening in, I just dropped a link to the agenda into the chat. Taking roll today, I'll start with the Commissioner McCarty,
Present.
Commissioner Padro,
Present.
Commissioner Garrett,
Present.
Commissioner Barry,
Here.
Commissioner Nigro,
Here.
and I, Commissioner Shea, am present as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to Secretary Shea. We have all members of the commission in attendance, and with that, I'll ask for approval of the consent agenda, which includes the agenda as presented, along with the November meeting minutes and the November treasurer's report. I do have that treasurer's report here submitted by Treasurer Nigro. You can see we only had one change, which was our payment to our recording secretary, Ms. Yaley. Does anyone have any questions or comments on anything in the consent agenda? And if not, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Do I? Okay, so consent agenda has been moved for approval by Commissioner Padro, seconded by Commissioner Garrett. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda and consent agenda passes as presented. First up, we will go right into our community forum. We should have, I believe, Lieutenant Harrell with us. At least Commander Connor said. Oh, Lieutenant Herring, my apologies. We're going to pull over MPD first. And on deck will be the mayor's office, followed by a representative from Councilmember Pinto's office. Thank you, Lieutenant Herring, for being with us tonight. Looking forward to hearing updates from you on what's happening in the neighborhood.
Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me or anyone hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Gotcha. For those who don't know me, Lieutenant Herring, assigned to the third district, particularly PSA 308, and the ANC covers both portions of 308 and PSA 307. Been assigned to the third district since January of 2024. And in the last month, since the last ANC meeting, I see there's an ADW. It's going to be closed with an arrest that took place on November 17th, 1323 5th Street Northwest. Individual had, this was a DV in nature, domestic in nature. Individual had pointed a firearm at looks like his significant other. He fled the scene, and he was arrested at the DC Superior Court back on the 2nd of December, brought to the third district where he was processed. And then there was a robbery on the 4th of December. That case remains open. Suspects were all young, with 3 juveniles, is what the lookout was given for. First suspect, black male, 10 to 15 years of age. Dark hoodie. Second suspect, black female, 10 to 15 years of age, wearing a pink shirt. And the third suspect, the black male, 10 to 15 years of age, light colored clothing. The event actually took place on the complainant advises that the event took place on November 5th. She did not report it until the 4th of December. My apologies. When she, I guess, realized that she was going to be charged a fee during the robbery, a capital bike share bike was taken from her under the threat of gunpoint. I think the individuals indicated they had a firearm and that she would be shot if she did not hand over the bike. Once again, she did not call for police assistance until December 4th. But she was able to give a reasonably good lookout and direct us to the area where the event took place. And once again, that is open at this time. And then the only thing only other items of perhaps interest. There were 5 firearms recovered in the ANC in the since the last meeting. Other than that, nothing of significance to report. Does anybody in the community or any of the commissioners have any questions?
Thank you, Lieutenant. If you have any questions and are a commissioner or a member of the public, please raise your hand. We'll start with commissioners first. And I just want to say, Lieutenant Herring, really glad to hear that we are confiscating more firearms in the neighborhood. Like to see that number go up. Commissioner Nigro?
So, as Lieutenant Herring knows, I'm addicted to the crime report and to the arrest report every day. But I haven't gotten the firearm report in a while. Did you guys stop producing that, or where did that go?
Was that where were you typically seeing that at?
Just actually, I was on my personal email. Do you guys still produce it? Because I'm addicted to that too.
I'll look into that for you. Firearm report.
I'm
not aware. I'm not aware. Why you're not
weekly. It came out weekly.
Once again, I'm not aware why you're not getting it, but I will look into
so it's still produced, is what I'm asking.
I'm not sure about that. I will look into that for you.
Okay, and of course, it'll be my request always. I do not see any foot patrols, so if you could, any foot patrols in the area, we still don't see them. You're supposed to get them.
Yeah, I know. It's still. I don't think the policy changed. And I'm not saying they're not going through your area, or they are going through your area. But that did become the policy back during the late summer, early fall. That everybody was supposed to go out and do a couple of minutes. 10, 15 minutes. All ranks, everybody throughout the department was supposed to go out and do foot patrols on all tours. Sorry if you haven't seen anybody, and I'll have make sure the 308, 307 officers start following up with that.
So I'll send the map again.
Yep. You want to set it up?
I'll just send the map again. I don't know what else to do. We're not getting any foot patrols down here.
Okay. All right. I will make that an emphasis for the in particular all the units on the evening tour. I'm on the evening tour now, and in particular 307 and 308 officers.
Thank you, Lieutenant Herring. Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. Commissioner Garrett?
Thank you so much. Quick question. I noticed it's not in this particular commission, but it is right next door. Musobi was closed, I want to say a couple months ago due to drugs. I just realized within the last week they're now opened again and starting to, bring back the same crowd that has, been coming in and out of the establishment. So I don't know if you have any information about that business reopening, and if you have an update as to what's going on with that location.
Can you remind me the address? I will follow up for you.
I don't have the specific address. Alex, Commissioner Padre, do you know that specific address? I know it's on 7th Street. I just don't have the specific address to that location. I guess I can Google it real quick.
1553 7th Street.
Repeat the address, please?
1853, number 7th Street, Northwest.
Okay, I will look into that and see what the status is. If they, are you sure it was closed for
It
you
was
said
closed. Yeah, it was
for
closed.
drugs? You
It was
said
closed for drugs. We got the notification through APCA. There was a notice of closure on the door, on the entrance door. And then I noticed one day I saw some people, I guess the owners inside cleaning it out, removed the sign. And then within the next couple of days they were open for business.
okay. I will look into that for you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from commissioners? Seeing none, do any members of the public have questions for Lieutenant Herring with MPD? Please raise your hand and we can allow you to unmute. Okay, thank you, Lieutenant Herring. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, folks.
Next up, we'll pull over our Ty Abilla with the mayor's office. And on deck will be Councilmember Pinto's office, followed by Events DC. Hi, Ty. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well and keeping warm. I have very brief, short updates for this evening. To start off, we are getting ready for our 12th annual 50C Fresh Start 5K. I'll be participating. Hope you all are wanting to participate or volunteer in some capacity if the time permits. That's going to take place on Thursday, January 1st at 11 a.m. There has been a location change from Freedom Plaza now to the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. I'll provide the registration information in the link. And also, EdFest is the district's annual public school fair where families can learn about school options for the upcoming school year. There is another session coming up this Saturday on December 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's going to be for pre-K 3 through 8th grade. And that's going to take place at Cracking Courts and Skates, the Northeast location. This year, Rec for All grants can be used to fund programs that operate for 4 consecutive weeks during the summer months and support youth ages 10 through 13. This is an initiative with the mayor's office along with the DPR, and it supports programs, activities, and events for district youth to engage with youth ages 6 to 18. Applications for that grant are accepted until now through December 19th. I'll provide that information in the chat as well. And we are definitely in the winter filling season. So the mayor's office, along with Serve DC, are inviting residents to sign up now to join the Snow Team Heroes. And this is a citywide volunteer program that pairs community members with neighbors who need assistance clearing their walkways and driveways during the winter season. In addition to that, the fiscal year 26 Robust Retail Grant Program, which opened up on December 1st, is going to be available now through January 20th. This is to provide direct financial assistance to district-based brick and mortar retail businesses. Again, I'll drop that information in the chat as well. But this intends to award up to $10,000 per business to approximately 48 businesses in the district. So if you know anybody who could benefit from this opportunity, please pass along that information. And I know there's a couple of emails that I've been on with some of the commissioners in regards to illegal parking vehicles. I know one has recently been updated in terms of a tow and impoundment. And then also in regards to the location update at 905, is it 9th Street, Commissioner Garrett? Or S Street,
R
actually,
Street
not
is
S Street,
R Street.
Northwest. So there's a couple of updates that are still coming through. But if there's anything that's currently pending that needs attention, please let me know. And lastly, there has been a recent update in regards to the trash bin at 8th and Q. I did speak with the inspector of that location. And if that is something that the commission as a whole is in support of, they're just asking for a letter, a formal letter. So Commissioner Padro, I believe you are on that email chain. So if that is something that the commission decides to partake in, please let me know and we can get moving on that specific task. But other than that, that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Ty. Do any commissioners have any questions for the mayor's office? If so, please raise your hand. Commissioner Padro.
Uh, on the situation at 8th and Q, and I'll ask at the end of our other business for the commission to add this on so we can approve a quick letter to address that, because this was actually requested once before back in 2022. Any updates on the longstanding ping pong ball about trash and recyclables collection over at Carnegie Woodson Park? We still don't have a schedule. We understand that agencies are handling two different aspects, but the problem still isn't being addressed. Also, I am going to send you a service request number for both of the lights inside Carnegie Woodson Park are out as of last night. So we do need to get that addressed. And again, this is one of those lingering, is it a DPR issue? Is it a DGS issue that starts getting murky? And before you know it, we've got a problem with it. The park is extremely dark right now and it is unsafe. So I do need your help to try to get that resolved. And then lastly, it's been brought to my attention that there is an alarm that is going off at Seton Elementary at night, approximately 11 o'clock at night, that is disrupting the neighbors' sleep. And since this is a DCPS issue, I think it's probably best to have you address it directly with DCPS, since DCPS seems to be pretty resistant to ANC commissioner concerns and requests for action. So I will share the complaint that was received via email with you, so you have that as backup. Thank you.
I appreciate that information. Unfortunately, I don't have any updates specifically in regards to the scheduling for Carter G. Woodson Park. I'll go ahead and follow up on that. That is a matter of a multi-agency concern, and that's going to be between DPW and DGS as well. And so I'll go ahead and follow up on that matter. In regards to Seton, yes, any information that you could pass along to me via email, that would be greatly appreciated so I can follow up with the principal and then my point of contact for DC Public Schools as well. And I don't know if there was anything else that I didn't cover. Okay. But yes, I'll follow up specifically around the park. And when the time permits, please let me know information about Seton.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Any other questions from commissioners? Are there any questions from members of the public? If so, please raise your hand so we can call on you. Seeing none, we will thank you for your time, Ty, and I'll go ahead and pull over Councilmember Pinto's office.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Ty.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Dia. Thank you for being here.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going to share my screen now. I have a quick presentation. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Dia. It's good to see you all. So Councilmember Pinto introduced her Prosper DC plan a few weeks ago, which is to follow up on Secure DC and Peace DC. This includes 23 bills that aim to deliver economic opportunities, positive youth development, support and attract businesses, and support affordable, accessible, and healthy communities. I won't discuss all 23 bills tonight for time's sake, but I'll go over a few that I think 2G will be particularly interested in. Firstly, regarding economic opportunities for residents, the Apprenticeship and Credentials as Pathways to Prosperity Act will support our young people by establishing an apprenticeship program for industries like healthcare, tech, education, hospitality, and more. The programs will provide on-the-job training, job placement, and zero interest forgivable loans. We also introduced the Teen Center Amendment Act, which requires the Department of Parks and Rec to establish 4 teen centers, one in each quadrant, with a youth advisory board to develop programs for youth by youth. The Fairness and Accuracy in Real Property Tax Assessment Amendment Act implements common sense improvements to make the real property tax assessment process more accurate, efficient, and timely to improve major vacancies. We are also trying to incentivize more use of vacant retail space for art and artists. And lastly, the Rats Amendment Act will address our prevalent rat problem by upgrading public litter cans to a rodent-proof model anytime they are being replaced, asking DPW to evaluate entire blocks and alleys for rodent container damage when replacing one container on a block, reinstating the trash compactor grant program, and establishing a new grant program for residents for rodent-proof trash sheds to store bins inside of. This was actually something that Gerard Brown, if you're familiar with him, said he thinks could make a bigger difference with our existing plastic cans. The individual bills that make up Prosper have been referred to different committees, and we look forward to having hearings in the near future to hear from residents about these bills. Of course, as with all legislation, it is subject to the passage and funding, and we're getting close to fiscal year 27 budget season. Oops. And lastly, we are having a community office hours event with Councilmember Pinto on January 14th from 8:30 to 10 a.m. at Cafe Joy in Shaw. So we hope you will all attend. And I will drop links about Prosper and other things that I mentioned, including a place to RSVP for the office hours in the chat. I'm happy to take any questions now.
Thank you, commissioners. Please raise your hand if you have any questions for the council member's office. Commissioner Nigro.
So hi, how are you? I'm just gonna make a couple brief statements. And so with this whole package that she has, to me, it just seems like she just kind of gathered every idea that a constituent gave to her and put it together, and there you go. So I don't understand if she actually thought through how this is all going to be paid for. And the one that really stands out is this teen center thing, because we have rec centers, and I like the rec centers. And so I just don't get it. It just seems like a lot and it wasn't well thought through. And then how do I say, was it duplicative? Is that the correct word? Am I saying it right? So I don't, did anyone think about that? Or is it just kind of thrown together? Because that's what it seems to me.
So from my understanding and the conversations that we've had with constituents, the idea of a distinct teen center that allows for teens to have their own space and programming built for them by other teens was very important, especially to ensure that teens want to be there and want to be part of that community.
But it's a building that you're talking about. Just use the current buildings.
It wouldn't be, so the teen center doesn't necessarily mean creating and like building up another building. It's more about creating programming and having like specific centers made like built around it. It could still use other spaces.
It doesn't seem well thought through at all, but I'll write a letter. Thank you.
I will certainly communicate it to the council member.
Commissioner Garrett.
Pleasure to meet you, Dia.
Dia.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Welcome. I think this is the first time you've been with us. I do want to comment on this bill. I already mentioned this to Councilmember Pinto. I appreciate the efforts in youth engagement and creating opportunity for them to get outside of the box. We cater to them. So I really appreciate the center, the opportunity for apps and all those sorts of things. I think our young people need that, and we need to continue to invest in them to divert from their decisions. I would like for you to bring to Councilmember Brooke Pinto's attention about me and her had a meeting about continuing the conversation on artistic therapy. I think therapy is very important for our young people. We can create all these opportunities, but if we're not nailing down on the issues of their day-to-day trauma and trying to change their mindset, all of these ideas will not be as effective if we do not get to the core issue of what they're suffering with in their homes, in their schools, while they're not going to school, their day-to-day with whether it's gangs or whatever the case may be. I did send her a proposal to include in this legislation on artistic therapy, and I would love to continue that conversation.
Absolutely. Okay. I have got all of that down and I will discuss it with her.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions from commissioners for the council member's office? Do any members of the public have any questions for the council member's office? If so, please raise your hand so we can call on you. Seeing none, thank you, Dia. We appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you so much.
And next we'll pull over Events DC. I believe I saw Solana.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Solana Vandernet, Senior Manager of Community Engagement for the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. I'm happy to serve as a connection point between you and Events DC. Please feel free to reach out anytime. I'll put my contact information in the chat. To stay up to date on everything happening with Events DC, from community programs to upcoming events, visit eventsdc.com. Sign up for our electronic mailing list and follow us on our social media platforms. I'll drop those links in the chat as well. Regarding the December Convention Center, December Convention Center event calendar. Earlier today, we hosted our final event of the month, the 2025 DC Chamber of Commerce Annual Meeting and Chairman's Inaugural Breakfast, which welcomed 400 attendees. Regarding Feast of Sharing, we extend our sincere appreciation to all the volunteers who helped make this year's annual Safeway Feast of Sharing a success. Their support ensured guests received a full Thanksgiving meal along with coats, hats, gloves, and personal care items to take home. Regarding many upcoming events this weekend, starting with FanFest, celebrate John Cena ahead of his final match at the official FanFest on Saturday, December 13th from 2:30 to 6 on F Street Northwest outside Capital One Arena. This is a free, family-friendly, interactive experience. Registration is required. No walk-ups are allowed. I will include this link in the chat. After the Fan Fest wraps up, the party continues with the Saturday night main event countdown show from 6 to 7:30 on F Street Northwest. Regarding Techsgiving returns December 10th through the 13th at Nationals Park, featuring headline speakers Troy Millings and Rashad Bilal of Earn Your Leisure. Tickets are available as well at Techsgiving Summit 2025. I'll include that specific link in the chat. And last but not least, Winter Wonderfest is now open at Nationals Park through Tuesday, December 30th. Enjoy family-friendly activities on the field and the Après Chalet by Fireball, including a hidden speakeasy for ages 21 and up. Purchase your tickets at nats.com/winter. Thank you for letting me join this call, and please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Solana. Does anyone have any questions? If so, please raise your hand. Commissioner Nigro, followed by Commissioner Padro.
So I just want to say, SneakerCon was this weekend, right? This past weekend.
Yes.
You didn't hear from me, so it was a great day.
Good. We're always happy to hear from you, but I am always
don't want to
glad
jinx
there's also
myself.
no security, no security issues. So
It's great. Good job.
thank you.
Solana, just wanted to see if whether there were any updates in terms of the leasing on the remaining retail bays on 9th Street.
No new updates at this time. The third-party commercial space consultant is continuing to advance the evaluation process. And then once we share updates on those kiosk operations, once we hear back about further assessments being complete.
Thank you. Looking forward to Winter Wonderland.
Yes, I'll see you on Saturday.
Can I tag on to that real quick? So what is that retail? Is he like saying there's no bathroom access? Is he being honest?
No, really what they're doing is they're just going through the different candidates regarding to what their evaluation process is and then moving forward from there.
But there's still no bathroom access, right?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions from commissioners? Any questions from members of the community? Well, thank you so much, Solana. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Before we close out our community updates, are there any things that commissioners have to share? If so, please raise your hand. Any folks on the public side have an announcement or an event coming up that they'd like to share? Please raise your hand. Okay, well, we will continue right on into our business agenda for the evening. First up is a presentation by the Department of General Services. We have John Stokes with us tonight. This is in regards to progress updates on a myriad of applications and work being done at 501 New York Avenue Northwest in Single Member District 2G06. We are going to pull them over.
Good evening, everyone. Let's see. So it's going to be myself, but the presentation will be given by Des Green. Does Des Green have permission?
I don't see a Des Green, but I have another DGS logged in. Is
Okay,
that maybe Des?
it may be Des.
Can hey John, who's ever there, can they turn on their camera?
Yes.
And where's the Department of Corrections person?
And also Setere Yele. Setera,
Okay.
do you see her? She should also be allowed access.
Yes, sir. I'm moving Satare over now. Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Anybody else from your side?
So is Des, again, if Des, well, I'll start and then Des, we'll turn it over to Des. Hopefully, whoever that was you let in from DGS, again, if they could turn on their camera just to see, make sure who it was from DGS. But thank you so much, Commissioner Nigro, for inviting us here this evening for a community meeting, again, to discuss all things updates for 501 New York Avenue. I'm John Stokes, and I'm the Associate Director, External Affairs for the Department of General Services, and I'll be joined this evening by Satara Yele, who is a Public Information Officer for the Department of Corrections, and again, Des Green from DGS, who's the project manager on this, will be leading this presentation this evening. There may be some other folks who may want to join in on the conversation, and I think if they need to, wish to, then I guess they can just raise their hand. Is that correct?
Hey John, who's in that DGS that right here? This is my concern. Who is that?
Let's see, whoever is in DGS who the commissioner just let in, can you tell us who you are?
Yes, John, this is me, Terezi. Can you hear me?
That's Tedesse. Okay, so Tedesse, she's our management analyst.
Yeah.
So that's the other person from DGS, but we need to have Des.
Yes, I didn't see him, so I grabbed the
Can
presentation.
you turn on your
Des
camera? Do you
Green?
mind?
Yeah, give me a second.
What is Des' last name? Green?
Green.
Okay. They weren't raising their hand, but I just promoted them to panelist. They're gonna have to accept.
All right, is that you, Des?
This is still I believe, Tessaday, but Des is not accepting his promotion to panelist. Okay, Des is coming over.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I was having some technical difficulties. Sorry about that.
All right, Des. Make sure your camera's on, or I guess your presentation as well. So, but we will turn this over to you.
Okay. All right.
Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
Des, if not, I can get it started and you can just let me know when to move to the next slide.
Okay. It's coming up now. All right, I got it. Sorry, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, we can. We can
Okay.
see the screen and hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so good evening, commissioners, community members, and ANC 2G representatives. My name is Des Green. I'm the Senior Project Manager with the Department of General Services. Tonight's update will provide a brief overview of the project at 501 New York Avenue, along with our current regulatory milestones and next steps. So here is the agenda for this evening. First, I'll briefly recap the key milestones since our July update. Second, I'll provide a focused update on construction progress inside the facility. Third, I'll provide the status of the Historic Preservation Review Board submission. Fourth, I'll highlight upcoming milestones and regulatory steps. And then finally, we'll open the floor for questions. So since July's meeting, the project has moved through several important procedural steps. In July, we provided the ANC 2G with an update on the design intent for the fencing and curb cut design. In August, during the Public Space Committee review, DDOT did request that all exterior elements of the project first complete a historic preservation review board consideration before then returning to the Public Space Committee. And then throughout the fall, the design team coordinated with the Historic Preservation Office and finalized the exterior submission package. And then on October 17th, our design team formally submitted the exterior package to HPRB for its review cycle. And then as part of the review timeline, in the case of the schedule is now set for the December 18th hearing. So here is the current construction progress since our last update. First, several major interior milestones are now complete. Selective demolition is complete. Light metal framing is complete. All the major HVAC equipment has been installed. These are essentially they form the backbone of the building's interior system, and they allow the trades to continue with their sequencing. And then for the recent work in November and December, we've made steady progress across all floors. The duct bank installation has been inspected and cleared, which allows us to proceed with the next phase of electrical coordination. We continue domestic water piping installation in both the basement and the first floor. and the plumbing rough-in is ongoing on the second floor. And then the team is also completing boiler room corrective work, which is tied to an approved change order. On the technology side, data and security rough-in is progressing in the basement level. And then throughout the building, mechanical ductwork installation is moving forward as planned. Importantly, as we've stated in previous meetings, no exterior work has been performed. The exterior work cannot begin until all regulatory reviews and approvals have been completed. So moving on to the Historic Preservation Review Board review status. So our application for the exterior components was formally submitted on October 17th. Following that submission, the ANC did exercise their allowable 30-day review window, which is a standard part of the historic preservation process. The project is now scheduled for the hearing on December 18th. And in advance of that hearing, HPRB staff is preparing their report and recommendation for the board. There have been no design changes since the design was submitted in November, and the scope is currently under review. The scope that's currently under review is the same package that we shared with the ANC and the surrounding community. And so we will continue coordinating with HPRB throughout their review cycle, and we'll incorporate any guidance that they issue after the December meeting. So looking ahead, here's the regulatory path for the exterior components of the project. Following the December 18th HPRB hearing, we will receive comments from the board. Once those comments are issued, our design team will then update the exterior materials as required. After those updates are completed, we will resubmit the exterior package to the Public Space Committee for their review. And throughout this process, we will continue providing routine updates to the ANC so that you all remain, informed and can see each step of the process. So just as a reminder, no exterior work will proceed until all three regulatory steps are completed, which is the HPRB review, the Public Space Committee review, and then the DDOT public space permitting process. So here's the current project schedule as it stands right now. Based on the progress to date, we remain with the interior and exterior substantial completion of May 2026. This reflects the interior work that's underway and the regulatory steps required for the exterior work so that that can begin. Following substantial completion, we anticipate a short period of punch list items, commissioning, and operational readiness, and that will conclude in the summer of 2026. Now, these dates will continue to be evaluated as work progresses and the regulatory reviews are completed, but this represents the most accurate forecast at this time. So over the coming weeks, the team will continue interior renovations while we complete the regulatory sequence for the exterior elements. The key next steps would be the December 18th meeting, as we've discussed, the updating the exterior materials as required by HPRB, resubmitting the exterior package to the Public Space Committee, maintaining communication with the community through DGS External Affairs, preparing for the next scheduled ANC meeting. Now, the exterior construction related to the fencing and curb cuts and exterior improvements will only begin after the approval process and the permit issuance. And then At this time, we anticipate meeting with the ANC 2G group within the months of March and June of 2026 to provide construction-related updates like this one we're presenting tonight. For questions after tonight's presentation, our primary points of contact remain the same. For DGS, John Stokes, Associate Director of External Affairs, and then for DOC, Satira Yale, who is the Public Information Officer. Both of them can be reached at the addresses that are listed on the screen. And then that concludes our project update. We appreciate your time and engagement for the project. We're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Des. We have up to 20 minutes for questions. We're going to start with commissioners. So if you're a commissioner and you have a question, please raise your hand so I can call on you. Up first, Commissioner Nigro.
So Des, I need to correct you on some of your presentation. So I need to bring you that back up, okay? Because I don't want you to think that you're right, because you're wrong. Des.
Yes. What was the question?
I need you to bring back up the presentation because it's incorrect.
All right, let's bring it back up. Okay, what slide would you like me to
Okay,
go to?
scroll back. Okay, not this one. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going back. Okay, keep going back. Okay, here. So you know full well, and I'll tell the other commissioners know too, and just tell the community, the ANC exercised the allowable 30-day review window. You did not give us correct notice, so don't make this sound like it's on us. Okay, you did. That's why y'all had to move to the December meeting because you did not give us correct notice. Keep going back. There's another correction.
So let me make a statement here. We provided, there's a 20-day window that we're required to send out a notification to the surrounding community, which we did. To my understanding is that the ANC does have an allowable 30-day window allowable 30 working days that they can exercise for any project that they want to review. And it's my understanding that somebody called in from the ANC requesting that information. So we did provide that 20-day window. We sent it out to the community, and then we also emailed it to the commissioners.
I got that, but that was not correct for the ANC. But move back. I know what I'm doing. Okay, keep going.
Keep going.
What more? Keep going. Okay, so it was in the Public Space Committee stuff was in September, as you know. So I just want to make that clarification, not August. The meeting was in September. Commissioner McCarty and I were there. But we're going to move forward now. That's all I wanted to make those clarifications because those two things were incorrect. So I want to know first why there was no real presentation about the fence.
Because this is a construction update.
Well, that's part of a construction.
Right. If you wanted a design update, again, we did provide a design update, and nothing has changed from that design.
You can take down this presentation, but these commissioners here, and we're voting on this tonight, do not have that information.
Well,
so why is no one here to talk about the fence?
Gotcha. Let me provide some clarity here. So we're required to provide an update on construction every 3 months. And so that's what this presentation is for. If we can provide a separate meeting or a separate presentation based off of the design, but that's not what the intent of this meeting is, or this presentation is.
I am going to be at that meeting next week. right? And so I'm going to say that you all did not bother to present to the commissioners, and that's the God honest truth. So you
That's not
didn't.
true.
No, you're right. Where are the documents? Where's the pictures? Not my job to give these guys the pictures. Their job. So moving forward, that's what I'm going to say. Now, the next question is,
Again, I
and
just want to, for the record, that is not true. We did provide an update at the last meeting.
you're here to do. These commissioners here that I sit with will be voting on whether to support the HPRB application. And there is literally nothing for them to look at. Why should they vote to support anything? You have no information for them. But my next question has to do with the HPRB notice. Where is your verification in terms of mailings or delivery? There's supposed to be a verification that you did that. We have asked HPRB for that, and it has been silent. So there is, as far as we're concerned, there is no proof that you notified the surrounding owners.
Oh, we do have proof that we mailed it out.
Well, where is that?
It's retained within DGS.
Well, can you send that to me tomorrow?
I'll confirm internally and get back to you whether or not we can share that. There are some personal information of my own that are on those receipts, but we'll verify that.
Because it's part of the DC code that there be these verifications. And if there's not any of these verifications, this case should be deferred again.
Yeah, I promise you that we do have mail receipts for each of the documents that were mailed out.
Okay, well then I'd like to see those tomorrow. Because HPRB has been silent about that. John, can I get those receipts tomorrow?
Well, follow up with you, Commissioner.
Okay. And so my question is, and we're just going to focus on the HPRB, I guess, even though there's no presentation from you guys. Why do you feel you deserve this fence in the historic area where none of my constituents would get it, whereas the allowance is only 42 inches and you want a 7-foot fence?
So the request of the 7-foot fence was based off safety reasons. They felt that the 42-inch fence would not be sufficient. And so that was a request of DOC to have a much taller fence.
Okay, so for 2 years, I was told by the Department of Corrections and by DGS and whoever else that there weren't really any safety concerns, that we didn't have to worry about detainees, we didn't have to worry about loiterers, we didn't have to worry about, anything going on because it'll be okay at 501 New York Avenue. So my question is, and this is what I'm showing on the screen. This is from the Department of Corrections. This is how you guys are trying to get around going to HPRB. This is for the Public Space Committee. That now there's security concerns. So I want to know from the Department of Corrections, the representative here, what are those security concerns? Because for 2 years, I was told no protesters, no nothing. Don't worry, Commissioner Nigro, nothing to worry about here. So Department of Corrections, what are the security concerns?
I'd be happy to send you an explanation of why we've requested a higher fence.
No. Wait. That's what this meeting is for tonight. So no one came prepared to this meeting.
No, I've come prepared to take your feedback and to bring those questions back to our operations and security team and to get your response.
But you should so I'm not going to waste any time. So you don't know that because this letter that
I'd like to verify with our operations security team and follow up with you, Commissioner.
Okay, because all I know for 2 years that nothing's going to happen at 501 New York Avenue. So this is what I'm saying to you guys is that you do not need a 7-foot fence, and it is insulting with this letter to myself especially and all of my constituents that now there's security concerns. So I need to know about
think you're making a big jump from fence to security concerns. I'm happy to talk to our operations security team and talk to them about the specifics regarding the fence and follow up with you.
Well, that's why he says he wants the fence.
Yep, I'll be happy to follow up.
So again, I think I'm disappointed to say the least, but I'm not surprised that either agency is not prepared for this meeting. And so any one of my other commissioners have questions? Because
Do any
I
other
certainly,
commissioners have questions? If so, please raise your hand. I guess if you have anything specifically about the construction, DGS may be able to answer that tonight. If you have anything about the HPRB application concerning the fence, feel free to ask that, but I'm not sure if they have that information available. Any other questions? We will open it up to the public for questions if commissioners do not have any.
here's something from Mike, one of my constituents. There are members of the community listening to want to hear the reasons for the fence. And you cannot tell them that tonight.
Like I said, I will touch base with our security operations team, follow up with you, Commissioner, and you can share that information with your constituents who have specific concerns about the difference in the fence height.
But that's your job. I, you know, I can only do so much for all these agencies I'm dealing with. I mean, this is just plain wrong. And I feel that if this is how this is going to roll now, what is going to happen when the jail of 501 New York Avenue actually opens, when the Department of Corrections is unprepared at a meeting that you're seeking our support for this? I guess you guys don't really care. That's my opinion.
No, that's not the case at all, Commissioner. We're here to listen and to take feedback and constituent concerns. Because this is a specific security question, that is why I want to consult with our security operations team to make sure I'm providing you accurate information. That's all.
Okay.
Commissioners, Commissioner Nigro, do you have any other questions?
I don't think so because they came prepared, so I know our side. So
Thank you. Any members of the public, if you do have questions, please raise your hand. We can allow you to speak, so you can unmute your microphone. We have DGS and Department of Corrections,
oh wait, I do have something else.
both about 501 New York Avenue.
Wait, I forgot. Did I say this before about the historic? Yeah, I did, right?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Nigro. What?
So I guess if my constituents are going to be denied their 7-foot fence if they put in that request, right? Why should you guys get it? DGS, John, why? Why should you be allowed to get this 7-foot fence if all the historic communities around the city would not be allowed this? Anyone? Why? Why do you guys think you're better?
Commissioner, I don't think this is a matter of better. This is a, proportional tweak to a fence height.
Not proportional. It's 42 inches for 7 feet.
If Mr. Stokes would like to chime in, he's welcome to, but this is not a matter of being better than.
Because as far as what I've done in my initial research, and also HPRB has told me they have no data who has ever gotten this exception before. So as far as I'm concerned, no one has. So why should you get it? Go ahead, John.
That's my phone.
We can hear you, Mr. Stokes.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So again, I think we will consult with our partners at the DOC and get back to you on that.
But that's why we're here tonight. That's okay. I'll let that go because we're moving on. I don't want to waste. Commissioner going to get mad at me now.
No. Well, thank you, Commissioner Nigro. Commissioners and public, final call for questions for DGS, Department of General Services, and Department of Corrections.
We got to make a motion. Don't forget.
Yep, that's next on the business
Okay.
agenda. Okay, well, seeing as there are no questions about the presentation, thank you, Mr. Stokes. Thank you, Satari, and Department of Corrections, and thank you, Des, for your updates tonight. We thank you, and I'm going to go ahead and put you all back as attendees.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
So Commissioner Nigro, next on our agenda is I left space for you to make a motion for this HPRB application. You just saw the presentation.
We didn't see Rich.
Well, we didn't really hear anything about the HPRB application. So Commissioner Nigro, I guess I'll let you tee it up and explain what the application is requesting
Yes.
for HPRB next week and what you'd like to recommend the commission do.
Yes. So unfortunately, they did not come prepared, and that's disappointing. But it is a very tall 7-foot fence that goes against the historic, I guess we call it code. I'm not sure if I'm using the right word, Alex, but so the 501 New York Avenue is in the Mount Vernon Square historic area. For the front part of any home or business where they are allowed 42 inches. They are not allowed 7-foot fences, right? And so this big fence that I've seen the picture is a big honking thing that curves over like this, and it looks like it belongs at a jail, right? Let's make this clear. It's wrought iron, the whole 9 yards. And to surround the building and there'd be gates and all this, it looks very imposing. But there it is. You guys couldn't see a picture. So I'm recommending that we do not support this HPRB application for the Department of General Services due to the fact I cannot find anything that any other instance has ever been supported in the past in the historic districts. And maybe Alex has heard of something I certainly have not and could not find anything, nor that HPRB actually had any data to give me, which was surprising. They had nothing to give me. So I recommend that we do not support this application, and there it is. Because none of my constituents would be allowed it. I can tell you that much. Thoughts?
So to respond to your inquiry, the tallest fence that I've seen HPRB approve in a historic district is 6 feet, not 7 feet. And that is only as an exception, not as being compliant with the standards for any specific historic district. So
Yeah.
the historic districts that I monitor, the tallest fence that has been applied for and approved was 6 feet.
That's good to know.
Should I go next? Okay.
Yep, Commissioner Berry.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, is the height of the fence, when they say it's a security issue to keep people from escaping out in the instance that they have that, and if they do that, I mean, because we do not want people to escape because we recognize that the jail is going to be there now. So that is important. However, when they leave, because they said this was temporary, will they remove it? Because we don't want this to be a permanent jail in our neighborhood.
Well, that's a great question, Commissioner Barry, but since they came unprepared, no one can answer those questions. There you go. They don't want our support.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you. Rochelle, I just wanted to ask if do we want to do a motion to not support or a motion to oppose? It might be just kind of a distinction, but just a thought I had.
Oppose, support. Either way, I'm going to be there next week. So.
No, I didn't say oppose or support. I said oppose versus not support. Like that oppose may be stronger language than not supporting. Okay. But
oppose and actually use both words. How about that?
Bam.
And I'm really sorry that you guys can't see the pictures, but there it is. They don't care.
And yeah, I would just like to share it's hard to support something when it's not presented and for the community to have the opportunity to see and weigh in on as well. So I just would like to echo that.
I tried. But we're not surprised, right, Commissioner McCarty?
Not very surprised. I am trying to see if I can find this very quickly.
Do they, I mean, are they still?
Oh, it's on my social media. I put it up yesterday. I did a whole video.
So we just asked some questions. Are they still on the call? Do they want to respond and answer any of these questions that we have?
Are they still on the call?
We do have Mr. Stokes, but I don't think they're prepared to answer questions. I did find, which I will share with you on my screen. this is the fence that they're talking about adding. So you can see it wraps around the building like this. I can only show you. I can't answer any questions about this design or any implications. I can just show you that this is what they submitted. And then you can see the outline of the work there.
Well, they didn't care enough to show us.
Commissioner Padro.
Uh,
Uh, I think you went on mute. Did you have a question?
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So I have to agree with Commissioner Nigro that the district government seems bound and determined to enforce regulations on every party except itself.
Yep.
It seems totally, unwilling to accept the restrictions and the considerations that any other applicant has to be bound by, and by virtue of its ignoring, proper notice requirements, is practically begging this commission, to oppose its plans. And I think that it's getting what it deserves under the circumstances. But again, in my 20 odd years of following, HBRB decisions, especially where the historic districts that are covered by this commission are concerned, the highest fence that I've seen on an exceptional basis approved have been 6 feet, never 7. So I will be voting to oppose the approval of this fence.
And I'm still going to try and get data before next week about anything that HPRB has done. I mean, there's one example from Alex 1, but that's not from HPRB. Why don't they have that information?
Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Mr. Stokes did raise his hand from DGS on the other side, so I'm going to give him the opportunity to unmute. Mr. Stokes, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add.
Yes, we had somebody else, Michelle, as well from Department of Corrections, who had her hand raised, and I think she was trying to comment. So I said, well, let me put my hand up too, and maybe one of us can get through. So there is I believe if there is somebody in the who has their hand raised, Michelle.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
There you
Yes.
go.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I joined a couple minutes late and Des had started his presentation, so I wasn't able to join. But I have been here and I did hear his presentation. My name is Michelle Wilson. I'm the Deputy Director of Administration at the DC Department of Corrections, and I have been on the call. Just a point of clarity I'd like to bring up about our meeting here and our joining it this evening. We're specifically here as part of the order from the BZA as it relates to our participation and keeping you informed about the status of the project. So that is what Des Green was here for this evening, and Satara Yell were here for, to give you an update as to the status of the project. They were not here specifically to seek your support or gain your support as to the Historic Preservation Review Board hearing that is coming up. That information is available on their website as to our seeking the fence and getting the fence. But I do take a bit of umbrage in, I think it is disingenuous of Commissioner Nigro to seem to intimate that we are keeping the fence a secret, or that it's anyway a secret, because in fact, if you go to the order from the BZA on page 10, page 10, item number 56, it does indicate that we would be seeking at the time a perimeter fence that would be 7 feet in height. So in no way and in no time did the Department of Corrections or the Department of DGS, General Services, hide or seek to hide our desire and our a need for a fence. It is in fact in the order and is referenced by the BZA in their order that we would be seeking a 7-foot fence. If your objection, Commissioner Nigro, is that the fence is 7 feet, or that we're seeking a 7-foot fence, and that historically or in the past the highest is a 6-foot fence, we're not a community, we're not a house in the community. We're not. We're not a jail in the community. We're a central holding facility where individuals are held for 12 to 24 hours. We're mindful of that. We're trying to fit in and blend into the community as best we can, given the circumstances. We understand the community's desire for us not to be there. We understand that. We get it. We're trying to make sure that we keep the individuals in our care and custody safe, as well as keeping the community safe. And what that means is people coming out. You made a big pitch and a big support and comment before about folks hanging out outside and all of those things. So we're trying to be mindful of all of that. And all of that speaks to safety and security. So your desire to hinder or say we're not supporting the fence is it's not going to stop the need for the central cell block to be temporarily housed at this location. So I understand what you're saying, but we have not kept this a secret. It is, in fact, again, I will reiterate, on the BZA application number 21177, page 10, item number 56, speaks to that we would be seeking a 7-foot fence. And in fact, we are seeking approval for a 7-foot fence.
So, Ms. Wilson, I'll just be very brief. We are not here talking about the BZA. We are here talking about HPRB, and both Department of General Services is their application, and then your guys are part of it, came completely unprepared. That is what we are voting on. I never said anything about not knowing about the fence, but we have a right, me as commissioner and my constituents who would never be allowed a 7-foot fence, to oppose it. This has to do,
Absolutely.
yeah, and that's what we're
Absolutely.
doing here tonight.
If you want to oppose the fence, again, the fence, the idea of the fence, the need for the fence actually came up as a result of your your comments and the things based on what occurred at the BZA, and that's why we're seeking the fence. We are seeking the fence, and
I'm sorry,
if you
That's
Ms.
not
if
true.
Shea,
it,
I'm just
again
jumping to say that
it
that
is on
sounds like
page
we're getting
again.
punished for
We
trying to
I don't
We're
want to
advocate
gonna,
for
Ms.
punish.
Wilson, we're gonna move
Hey,
forward. I'm gonna do my motion.
I'm not gonna punish. I don't want to punish anybody. We're here. If you have a concern or issue regarding the fence, if you we will take that back and we will address those concerns and issues about the fence. But if you're saying that you had and it was implied clearly by you that we did not, that this fence was a surprise, or our seeking to get the fence was a surprise. But again, I want to bring back that it is in the order, it is referenced in the order that we would be seeking a 7-foot fence by the BZA. So we didn't keep this a surprise. We're going through the proper process. We're not going around the process. We're going through the proper process to seek approval for the fence. That's what we're doing. And again, we welcome the neighbor. If you have comments about the fence or anything related to the fence, it's hosted by the HR Historic Preservation Society board. You're welcome to give us any feedback or suggestions about the fence. But we thought we were putting a fence that meets the look and the scope of the neighborhood, but still satisfies the needs of the central cell block at this temporary location.
thank you, Miss Wilson.
You're welcome.
You gave us a very robust update, and I thank you for calling attention to that note in the BZA order. I am going to go ahead and put you back on the public side. We'll pull you over again if there's anything that you have questions on or want to address.
Thank you. And happy holidays to everyone. I don't think I got to say that.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you as well. And then Commissioner Nigro, I'm not sure there's anything anyone here has to add that's new or relevant to the motion that you'd like to make. So if you have a motion or anything to add, I will give you the floor.
Well, first, I want to say, I never knew I had such great influence to do an entire fence. I never knew that I was the reason for the fence, but now we know. Okay, I move that ANC 2G not support application for HPRB number 2652 for the Department of General Services at 501 New York Avenue for, hold on, let me get my wording here. For the reconstruction of curb cuts on both L Street and New York Avenue Northwest, as well as for the construction of a new site perimeter fence and access gates due to the fact that the fence is not within the scope of the Mount Vernon Square Historic District, which only allows 42 inches in front of a property, not 7 feet, that the Department of General Services and the Department of Corrections wants. Do I have a second?
Friendly amendment that we both not support and oppose.
Yes, thank you. I accept that friendly amendment.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Padro. Is there any further discussion between
No.
commissioners?
Yes, Commissioner Nigro, you provided clarification as to the rationale behind the restriction or the opposition on the size of the fence, but you didn't provide any explanation for why you're opposing the curb cut work. So
Oh, that's just part of the application. So
we should, if we're opposing it, we should explain why we're opposing it.
It is not within DDOT regulations.
HPRB isn't bound by DDOT.
Well, they put it on their app. I'm just saying that it's on their actual application.
This is also why it would have been really helpful if they'd presented, if someone had come and presented specific to this. And we did, it's my understanding that folks were invited to this meeting to present about this, which is also something I want to clarify just from the comment we had earlier. We asked people to come specifically to present about this, and then we got a boilerplate update that satisfied their own requirements that they determined they hadn't met in the past. And it's like two ships passing in the night and refusing to acknowledge the actual needs and requests of the community, which is deeply, deeply unfortunate and is not going without notice. I'll get off my soapbox.
So again, to clarify, Commissioner Nigro, the opposition to the curb cut work, my understanding would be that it is because new curb cuts are prohibited
For the fence.
in historic districts.
Oh.
So is it that they're proposing to reinstall existing curb cuts, or they're trying to introduce new curb cuts, or
The
what
reduction, which has to do with what they want from the Public Space Commission. So this ties in with public space. That's what they wrote on their application.
Yeah, well, again, it would be helpful if they had, stuck around or even decided the presentation. Okay, I'll stand down. I think we're making our point.
Yeah, it's mainly about fun. Okay,
great. So are you happy with your motion, Commissioner Nigro?
Yes.
With an amendment by Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Seconded by Commissioner Padro. Any further discussion?
We have some comments in here. We have somebody at 742, Alexandra Hazier. Thanks for the update and discussion on the fence. If memory is correct, wasn't there a previous sketch that showed the fence would be a combination of brick and wrought iron? This would be more in keeping with the look and feel of the neighborhood. I actually do think I recall that now, and I think I am in agreement with that.
So I have a little bit of
get to have an opportunity to have that discussion because the reason why we invited folks here to present was not honored.
So what I know about that is that apparently HPRB did not like that original drawing. That's all I know.
Well, okay. All the more reason for an actual presentation for the community and not just to be told to look at something in page 10 of a BZA report.
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Commissioner Nigro's motion on the floor, which is to not support and oppose the HPRB application for a reduction in curb cuts and an installation of a 7-foot wrought iron fence at 501 New York Avenue Northwest. if you support that motion on the floor, signify by raising your hand and saying aye.
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 I'm sorry. Could you say it for me one more time? I'm sorry. I wanna do what the community wants, but I want to hear it so that I'm voting for the right thing. I'm sorry. I missed something.
So the motion on the floor is to not support and oppose the Department of General Services HPRB review application, which consists of a reduction in curb cuts at 501 New York Avenue and the installation of a 7-foot wrought iron fence. And the rationale is that the 7-foot wrought iron fence is higher than appropriate standards for within the historic district.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
I
Thank
don't have a recorded vote for you, Commissioner Barry.
I support it.
Is that an aye? Okay, so that is 5 ayes. Any opposed? Commissioner Garrett, are you abstaining?
I am abstaining.
Okay, so that motion passes with 5 ayes and 1 abstention. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Commissioner
Thank
Nigro.
you.
Next up on the agenda, we have an update to the settlement agreement for Maxwell Wine Bar. I don't have Brent here today, but I did speak with him and neighbors earlier this week. I'm going to share my screen. This is a very small change to their settlement agreement, and the owners are simply asking for the ability to uh, have jazz entertainment on their sidewalk cafe from 12 to 8:30 p.m. on Sundays. Very limited, restricted hours. We worked with the ABCL chair, Russell, and neighbors, including the landlord who actually lives in the building and rents out the space. And so I am in support of this, and the community has been in support of it. We worked very closely on the hour provisions there. And so Brent is not here, but Brent did say they have another restaurant called Pop up by the 930 Club. And they said that they've been doing this there. It's been very successful. The neighbors really like it, and it's brought a lot of people out to the neighborhood. And so I see it as a nice new way to bring some music to the neighborhood and bring people out. Commissioner Nigro?
Are they saying that I know the Maxwell bar, that this is on that side area there, outside,
Yeah,
technically
like
outside?
yeah, they have the like awning,
Yeah, but they're outside, right? Or inside?
correct,
So
outside.
so what is that like then with this technically being outside, not even inside, the jazz entertainment?
Well, they wouldn't have any amplification, so it wouldn't be like hooking a guitar or, like a DJ setup to a lamp. It'd be like a trumpet player or a jazz or a saxophone player.
But isn't that
Um,
still disturbing outside?
but I mean, you could consider it disturbing if you think it's going to be noisy, but it is within limited hours and only on Sundays.
So I just feel, I mean, I like that bar, don't get me wrong, but I feel that this could lead to problems if it's outside. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Commissioner Padre?
Uh, if we were supporting amplified music outdoors, I would be concerned, and I would probably object and not support this. But because it's It's just the sound of musical instruments, being played, and there is some covering in the area that the music is going to be performed in, and the neighbors have been consulted, and the property owner, who also lives on site, has given her consent. I'm inclined to support it.
Any other questions or comments? Yeah, Commissioner Perry.
Hi. Yeah, so you said the community supports it.
Yeah. So we worked with the abutting neighbors and the landlord. So the landlord, I can tell you, the landlord at first was not supportive because she thought it was going to be amplified music. And then Brent, the owner who rents the ground floor where Maxwell is, coordinated with her directly on the hours and limitations.
Well, I mean, the people who are going to be most affected, if they support it, then, and they've been consulted, I don't see why I would be like, no. So, okay.
Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Any questions or comments from the public? Please raise your hand if so. Seeing none, I would go ahead and make a motion that ANC 2G amend its existing settlement agreement between Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G and Maxwell Wine Bar, Abra 106344, located at 1336 9th Street Northwest, to amend sections 4 to 5 to read that applicant may have live jazz entertainment in the Sidewalk Cafe on Sundays from 12 to 8:30 p.m., conditioned on one, applicant's agreement to comply with all applicable provisions of DC's noise rules, regulations, and ordinances, including but not limited to DC Code 25725 referenced in Section 5. And 3, applicant's knowledge that it has no intention to an agreement not to have a DJ perform in the Sidewalk Cafe at any time. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Garrett. Any further discussion by commissioners? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by raising your hand and saying aye.
Hang on a second. Hello.
Commissioner Padro? Yeah.
Yes, I was trying to make a friendly amendment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that is that we insert the word non-amplified jazz music, just to clarify that what it is that we're approving.
I will accept that friendly amendment. Any other further discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up on our agenda is the renewal of Class C tavern license for Death & Co. This is at 124 Blagden Alley Northwest and ANC 2G04. I do not see anybody from Death & Co., but if you are here, please raise your hand. Death & Co. moved into Blagden Alley about 2 years ago. I think it was actually about 2 years ago, December. They do not have any complaints that I was able to find on record. I reached out to constituents about this, and no one had any comments or request to oppose. And the ABCL committee did recommend that we support the renewal of this license. I'm happy to support them. I will say, as commissioner, I've never had any issues with them. They are excited to participate in the trash compactor program that we're working on for Blagden Alley, and have always brought great ideas on how to try to bring more people out into the community and activate the alley space. Any questions, comments, concerns from commissioners? Any questions, comments, concerns from the public? Seeing none, I will go ahead and make I move that Advisory Neighborhood 2G support the renewal of a Class C tavern license for Death & Co. LLC at 124 Blagden Alley Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20001, and that we communicate that support for renewal to the ABCA agency and board, ABCL board.
Seconded.
Any further discussion between commissioners? Seeing none, all those in favor, raise your hand and signify by saying aye.
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 That motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have another renewal application. This is for Silk Lounge, renewal of a Class C tavern license at 1503 9th Street Northwest. This is in single member district 2G02. If you are here for the applicant, please raise your hand so I can pull you over to and permit you to speak. Is this
You should be looking for
solutions? I think okay. You should be able to unmute. Hi there.
Hello.
We can hear you. Is there anything you'd like to share about your renewal application with the community and commission?
I mean, I don't know if you guys have any question. I would love to hear from you guys, but yeah, we had last week a Zoom 2 weeks ago, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. So the committee did meet, and Mr. Baraki did participate in the conversation. We noted that there were no ABRA investigatory items. That there was some comment about some previous incidents of noise escaping from the front door because there was a problem with the automatic door closure mechanism not working properly, which has now been corrected, and there have been no subsequent concerns expressed by the community. So there were, and I have no objections to the approval of the commission support for the renewal of the license. And this is formerly Queen of Sheba, now Silk Lounge.
Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant? And thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it when our applicants take time out of their evening to.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, well, seeing no questions from commissioners, are there any questions from members of the public? Please raise your hand. Seeing none, Commissioner Padro, I'll give you the floor.
I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G support the renewal of the Class CT ABCA license for Silk Lounge at 1503 9th Street Northwest, and we communicate that support to the Alcoholic Beverage and Cannabis Administration and the ABC Board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Shea. Is there any further discussion between commissioners? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
That motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, let's you.
Next up on our agenda is back in single member district 2G04. This one is an interesting one because it's technically asking for support for a substantial change to the Class C tavern license for Calico, specifically entertainment. However, we actually worked with Matt Minora from Calico and Greg Alge earlier this year to update their settlement agreement to allow for these entertainment hours. So basically, ABCA is about 6 months behind in updating their placards. So we have to vote on this again. But Matt, I will give the floor to you to explain what you're asking for and what's currently in the settlement agreement and license.
Sure. Thank you so much, Commissioner McCarty. We appreciate the intro. I just wanted to clarify that this is actually a restaurant ABC license, not a tavern ABC license.
Thank
And you're
you.
correct. Yeah. Over the summer, when we did the renewal, we did incorporate entertainment for the interior in the settlement agreement. So when we finally filed the application not too long ago, we presumed that when he said, hey, the hours were from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. During the week and 8 a.m. to midnight on the weekends, strictly get limited to the inside. We said to the ABC board, hey, the ANC has already approved this. We had this on the books for quite a while. We presumed they would approve it administratively. They instead called it a substantial change. So we're here to ask you all to support a stipulated ABC license to allow us to operate with the entertainment endorsement while the remainder of the protest period ends, which is January 20th, since we're all in agreement about it already. And the hours that we applied for are those that conform to the settlement agreement hours as well.
Any questions from commissioners? I'm trying to pull this up on my end so I can show you, show folks. So here, just so folks can see, this is the notice of the public hearing. Thank you, Matt. Yes, a Class C restaurant license and the proposed change of hours of live entertainment inside premises, Sunday through Thursday, 8 to 11 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. And then if we go here, this is a settlement agreement that we approved as a commission with neighbors in the renewal period earlier this year. And specifically, we did work in the same provision right here. You can see applicant may have live entertainment inside the premises with an entertainment endorsement to its license. 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and ending 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday. So this here, section 5 in the settlement agreement we voted on and approved earlier this year matches up here. So just want to make sure we see how that is lined up with what we're being asked to support tonight. Anything you want to add, Matt, or any questions from commissioners?
Nothing I need to add other than just, thanks again for the support, and the settlement agreement doesn't require any changes as a result of this.
Thank you. Any questions from the public? If so, please raise your hand. Okay, well, seeing none, then I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G support the proposed hours of live entertainment inside the premises of Calico and the substantial change, as well as supporting a stipulated license to reflect those new hours of live entertainment within the premises, and that we report that to the ABC board and ABCA.
Seconded.
Any further discussion between commissioners? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Matt. I hope you don't mind. I did both motions in one because I want to be able to send a letter of support for the actual endorsement and the stipulated license.
No, that definitely works for us. Thanks again. We really appreciate it, commissioners. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Matt. Happy holidays. So that does conclude what was on our agenda, but I know Commissioner Padro, you wanted to bring something to the floor regarding the trash can. So I'll give you the floor to do that.
Thank you. During the 2 years that I was not a commissioner between 2021 and 2022, then Commissioner Eichler had worked at the community's request to get DPW to remove a litter can that was then located at the southwest corner of the intersection of 8th and Q Streets Northwest in our single owner district, in order to be able to address repeated abuse of the litter can by neighbors who were using it to dispose of residential garbage. It was regularly overflowing. It was not being regularly collected, and it was a significant nuisance, generator rat problems. And the commission then voted to send a letter to DPW requesting the removal of the trash can. The trash can was removed. Then, miraculously, earlier this year, the trash can came back. Not requested by anyone that we are aware of, but perhaps by DPW's own administrative action. Neighbors were very concerned. One neighbor actually took the trouble to roll the trash can across the intersection so that it would be on a different corner. It is now at the southeast corner of the intersection, and the same problems are continuing to occur. The Civic Association and adjacent neighbors are very upset with this turn of events. Again, it is being abused and is being not consistently collected. The trash is not being consistently collected by DPW. So I'm going to ask that the commission send a letter to DPW formally requesting the removal of the trash can from the intersection. Before I do that, I'd welcome any questions from commissioners of the public.
Any questions? Seeing none, Commissioner Padra.
All right, I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G send a letter to the Department of Public Works and copy the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services, formally requesting the removal of the litter can at the intersection of 8th and Q Streets Northwest because it is being abused through use for disposal of household trash and is not being consistently collected from.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Nigro. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there we go, Commissioner Garrett. That motion passes unanimously with 6 ayes. Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Commissioners, before we enter our information agenda and prepare to adjourn, is there anything else we need to do housekeeping wise before the end of the year?
Nope.
Okay, well, yes.
One question on the status of our annual report.
We did submit it. I will upload it to the website and forward it to you via email, but we'll make that publicly available on the website.
Great.
Any other, and I believe OANC should put it in their portal thing too, but it'll be more accessible on our website. So it should get published with OANC, but we'll put it on our website too. Well, with that, our information agenda is just to highlight that our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, January 8th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. That is going to be another organizational meeting for the commission, so we will have to do a few things. First would be to elect new officers for the 2026 year, as well as vote on a calendar, a meeting calendar for the rest of the year. I know for the past 3 years, we've continued meeting on the second Thursday at 6:30. So we will keep that date for the January meeting, but that will be an opportunity again for the commission to slightly reorganize officers and or meeting dates if it so chooses. So keep that in mind, and we'll see everybody on Thursday, January 8th at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn, and the time is 8:13 p.m.
So moved.
Any further discussion on the motion to adjourn this Thursday, December 11th at 8:13 p.m.? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you for a productive meeting, speedy meeting. I hope everyone stays safe, warm, happy, and healthy, well into the new year, and we'll see you all again in January.
Hey, happy
Bye.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry
Take care,
Christmas.
everyone. See you in the new year.